What's up guys, my name is Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be looking at This Week at Bungie for August 23rd, 2018. There is a lot of things in this one, a lot of miscellaneous lists about the different mod changes, about the weapons that we'll have, the different, updates and buffs to different characters, the things that will be taken and forsaken. There's a whole lot of miscellaneous stuff to read in this one, so make sure you sit back, relax, fasten your seatbelt, and if you're about to hit that back button because you just don't care, I've got something for you. For those guys who are about to leave the video, here you go. You get one picture. At the end, you might get some more pictures, so make sure you stay in if you want some more. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. Firstly, I recommend you watch this. Very epic cinematic of Cade 6 and his last stand as the Gunslinger. Came out, I think, a few days ago, and he basically fights off a whole bunch of Forsaken. It's really cool. Highly recommend you watch it. I literally watched it again before reading off this twab. Next up, there's going to be a free trial weekend for Gambit starting on September 1st to September 2nd in basically this time window. Everyone, regardless of having Forsaken, will have access to Gambit. A free trial, play it. You will not be able to get Infamy or any of the new weapons and armor, new gear, but you'll be able to play it. And starting September 4th, you'll be able to get the new stuff. Next up, let's talk about dates as well as raids. Starting on September 4th, it'll be down for maintenance starting at 7 a.m. Pacific time, going to 10 a.m. Pacific time. 10 a.m. Pacific time is going to be the regular reset time. As for the raid, looking for the world's first, starting September 14th, 10 days later at 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, will be the start of the Last Wish raid. So if you're going for world's first, it's going to be 10 days after the beginning, which is much later than usual because this is a big DLC drop. I will obviously be rooting for my clan, which got 12th in the world for Spires of Star Prestige, and I am rooting for them because they nearly got Eater Worlds first, but they did lag out, so I'm very much rooting for them. Next up is going to be the mod system. So if you're very curious on the mod system, what's going to count, what's going to carry over, how it's going to work, this gives you a little bit of insight on it. If you want to see it in action, check out the combat stream. Make sure you go and check that out. It'll link right here. You can check it out. It was like an hour-long stream where they showed off the new weapons, where the new weapons will go in different slots, the new mod system. They showed off a whole bunch of stuff, so make sure you check that out. Now let's get into the first of many lists they have in the TWAB. Specifically, let's talk about where you're going to get your mod. All exotic armors will have mods regardless of their years. Non-raid Year 2 legendary weapons will have a small chance to come equipped with a mod, pretty much the same as we have now. Something different is now you may pull mods out of gears for use of other gears by dismantling the original item they're dropped in. So if you see a gear with a mod you like, if you dismantle it, the mod should pop out. That's what it sounds like. However, it's not true right now, so it's a bit scary. Alternatively, if you want the item but not the mod, just slot in a new mod over the old one. Pretty much the same as we have now. And of course, weapons and armors purchased from vendors do not come with mod. Now basically, this section talks about Banshee 44 and being able to purchase mods, the new mods from Banshee 44 with mod components. There'll be a direct buy Year 2 armor mod and weapon mod updated daily directly from the gunsmith. You may acquire legendary mods from any Year 2 armor mod or weapon mod. And of course, you can get legendary mods from legendaries from Year 1 and have a small chance from rares from Year 1. Pretty much this section is the same as we understand it right now, and of course armor and weapons is pretty much the same but like longer words. And the last section about mods, which is a bit sketchy, but I am fairly certain at this point, if you have Year 1 mods, you should be able to dismantle pretty much every single one of them because none of them are coming with you. However, they did say that starting August 28th, you should be able to see which mods are depreciated with this message right here. So I would advise you wait until August 28th to see if that's when it's going to happen and to see which ones you can dismantle. But from what I understand, all the mods currently are going out the window. So dismantle pretty much all of them starting August 28th. Or if you're a bit afraid, wait till September 4th and it should say this message. Next up, let's talk about patch notes. All the buffs, upgrades, changes to different classes, to different weapons, to different grenades, a whole bunch of stuff are going to be changing. So make sure you listen up. First off, the Hunter. Marksman dodge is now considered a reload. It will interact with things like Kill Clip, Rat King, etc. I assume Borealis is also included in this, so Ionic Return might be kerfuffled by Marksman's dodge, which means you have to rely on Warlock and Titans to get your reloads in Borealis, and a whole bunch of other weapons that require reloads for some reason. Celestial Nighthawk will have 30% of its super back if you kill the target. Wormhusk will no longer start regeneration of health and shields, which is very big nerf, but it will instead grant a larger health and shield bump at the beginning instead of waiting for that regeneration. So hopefully Wormhusk will not be able to take you from 1 to 100 in a ridiculous like 1 second timer, but hopefully it'll still be usable at the same time. Next up, the Warlock. Increased Healing Rift effectiveness, very nice. Empowering Rift now has a bonus to precision damage instead of being capped out in PvP, which was very annoying. Exotic Armor, Skull of Ahamkara, which is going to be that helmet for the Warlock. Increased super energy gain from Nova Bomb kills, which is basically what it does. You have resistant and you get super energy from the kills, and killing higher ranked enemies will give you more super energy. If only this counted in PvP for the guys who were in first on the enemy team, you got more super energy. Oh, that would actually be kind of funny. Next up, Transversive Steps. The running boots for the Warlocks enhance mobility, assumably just the mobility stat and not speed. And after a short time, your currently equipped weapon, regardless of its energy, will automatically be reloaded, whereas before, it was just your energy weapon automatically being reloaded. And lastly, the Titan Rally Barricade will no longer require the player to take cover, which is big, and now automatically feeds magazine ammo over time, which hopefully it's not as slow as the Axe and War Rig, should be actually really nice. You don't have to keep crouching, basically makes it so compete with the Warlock's Lunafaction Rift. Next up are 2 exotics for the Sentinel class on the Titan getting major buffs. Helm of Saint 14 now grants allies overshields for a short duration when they pass through the Ward of Dawn, which is the bubble that nobody ever uses, which is very nice because I've always been saying that the Sentinel class needs to be the tank class of the Titan. On the Master of the Quiet one, increased energy gains from incoming damage because it was basically nothing before, and when critically wounded, health will now be granted for kills, again making it a very tanky class. I am very happy the direction that the Titans are going and making it so Sentinel will be useful. Next up, grenades. There's a whole bunch of stuff on grenades. Honestly, just read it. Most of it is just increased base damage, increased effectiveness. Sticky grenades will now do more damage. Hopefully they won't one-shot, but hopefully they'll be more effective. Everything else, honestly, just reload it. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and a lot of it's a little bit confusing. So honestly, just tell me what all of this means. I don't know. And lastly, we have Xur and miscellaneous stuff. Swords will now have the ability to accept shaders. Very nice. Added timers to healing rifts, empowering rifts, rally barricades, so you can communicate the time remaining before they expire, which is nice because I never knew when they were going away. And this stuff is just miscellaneous. Xur will no longer be displayed on the map, which makes my videos more important, which is nice. Maybe I can get some more views on that. I didn't tell them to do that. And they're no longer tied to Flashpoint, which is, you know, the obvious caveat if they still were, which meant you knew where they were. So now I'm gonna have to scour Twitter trying to figure out where he is every single Friday. And lastly on the Xur, Faded Engrams will grant only pre-Forsaken exotics, making the exotic grind slower, which is nice because everyone had the exotics, pretty much all of them, in week 1 or 2. By the time we usually get to this section of the video with the bug report and whatnot and the update stuff, we're usually at the end, but there's still a whole bunch of stuff you really need to know after this point. This whole section talks about Destiny 2 Update 2.0.0. It's going to be that big update the week before Forsaken. August 28th, which is this update, is going to kick you in at 9:30, and you're going to only be able to log back in at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, where 10 a.m. is the regular reset. So make sure you complete your Sources of Heroes stuff before August 28th. Now let's talk about the system changes that are coming in Update 2.0.0. There's a whole bunch of stuff, including weapon slot changes. Different weapons will transition, overflow players' inventory sent to the postmasters. Year 1 slot equipped weapons will now be moved and remain empty, which is kind of weird. And they do list a bunch of weapons that will be changing. The following Year 1 power weapons will be changed to the kinetic slot. All of these, pretty much shotguns and snipers. The following Year 1 power weapons will have their elemental attributes changed and locked to solar, which includes the Ikela shotgun and sniper rifle, which we knew from before. And the following exotic power weapons will remain in the power slot as exceptions. This is a weird word. Exceptions to Year 2 slot weapon changes. These 4 weapons, pretty much any exotic that is not these 4 weapons in the power slot can be assumed will be moving around. For example, the Borealis is not on this list, probably going to move to the secondary slot. Personally, I'm not 100% clear on how this system works. I'm still a little fuzzy on the details. I don't know if the Borealis will be locked into the secondary slot or can be moved around to the primary and power weapon. And of course, all Year 1 energy and power weapons will have their elemental attributes locked. We did know about this, so make sure you make all your weapons the right damage type that you want them going into Forsaken. Starting August 28th, they will be locked. So if you want 3 of a particular weapon, like for example the inaugural dress, since it's a god roll, having 3 inaugural dresses, 1 of each damage type, is very powerful. This section says collections will be locked until Forsaken releases. This section says tooltips might be wrong because some of the behaviors are changing. For example, triple tap will incorrectly describe the old behavior of pulling ammo from reserves. Perhaps there's a new behavior for triple tap and some other stuff. This section says that all of the +5 power to legendary and exotics will lose their abilities of +5 power starting on September 4th. So again, it says year 1 armor mods will be depreciated. This is all of them. They don't say some of them, they say all of them. Or specifically, they don't say some of them. This seems like all of them. For the most part, seems like you can just dismantle all of them. And lastly, Nightfall scoring turned off on that last week. We already know about that. Trials of the Nine. If you want to get the achievement for Trials of the Nine, or you want to play Trials of the Nine, make sure you do it this upcoming weekend on the 24th, because it's going on hiatus for a whole season. That's 4 months. Make sure you do Trials of the Nine. And the last section before Movie of the Week, Solstice Armor. If you want to get certain objectives, make sure you complete them before August 28th. They do confirm a couple things here. If you get your armor to purple rarity, you can still complete the certain objectives after August 28th. So if you have gotten to the legendary rarity, but you haven't done the masterwork yet, you can still complete the objectives because you do not need this statue to upgrade them. And some of the bullet points they mention is Prestige Nightfalls will have no scoring in this week, so you can't get it in that week. You can definitely get it after that. Heroic Strikes will be retired and made it so you have to use the new playlist, but you should be able to do it in that playlist to get that part. Valor ranks will reset on for season 3, so make sure you do that before they reset and ruin your progress. And that's it. That is pretty much it. That is the end of it. There's Movie of the Weeks. I have not watched them, but you know, Movie of the Weeks, always Cade 6 and montages. As for the Nightfall top scores, shout out to the boy of boys, Dado. Holy crap, and Dado got first place. He's been trying to get first place for a while. I think this is the first time he got first place, or maybe it was a couple of weeks ago he got first place as well. But shout out to Dado, as well as I have Toes Sneaky Beavers getting up here twice on the top 3 here. That's incredible. Congratulations to them. They have made it up here so many times. And that's it. That's the end of the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hopefully I didn't rant too much. Hopefully I wasn't too quick. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions on it. I answer almost all the comments that I can get to. I've been a little bit slower lately, but hopefully you forgive me. Here's some pictures of cute animals. I apologize. I've been trying to get to the comments, but there's been a lot of comments of late, and I've been doing a lot of things. So I'll try to get back into it and answer all those comments and get to you, because I really like doing it. I really do. I love answering comments, communicating with you guys, asking you guys about what weapons you like, you giving me an example, and I'm like, yo, what about this? And you go back and forth. It's always a lot of fun. I love communicating. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Nighthawk, and I'll see you guys on the next one.